Hey, little baby. It is the end of the day, and I have a new rear end on the bench to be built. Hello, Shop Kitty. And it came with toys for Shop Kitty. Yeah, we got a present in the mail. Let's go ahead and check it out. Pretty rusty looking flange. Hello, Kitty. This is just a few of the toys that came with this rear end. Very kind of this person to send that along. Thank you very much. Shop Kitty really enjoys them, especially the catnip mice, which are scattered about the shop. I managed to find these 3 balls. Rear's been here for a little bit, so of course when I opened it up to check things out, found the toys, and Kitty's been playing with them ever since. Oh, what a good baby. Well, anyway, on the bench today we have this S2000 diff. This is a late model diff. 2006 to 2009, hence the vent tube here for a vent box. And they did that change in 2005, 2004, all the way back to the 00 car is a thimble style type vent. And then they went to this style here. I'm not sure exactly why they did that, but they did. This has been rebuilt by another shop. Something's not good about it. The LSD is kind of wonky. It sounds really bad. It roars when you spin these things. Let me see if I can prop this up here and you guys can have a listen to it and see what you think. Okay, there we go. I don't have a tripod handy right now, but listen. You shouldn't hear that. It should be smooth and pretty much quiet. But that thing definitely is roaring, and when you get on the road with that thing, it's going to sound like, ugh, not good. Anyway, that is the primary complaint by the client. The other shop just didn't do the job right. There's virtually no preload on that input flange, so we're going to open it up, investigate, see what's going on, and keep you tuned in on that. It's going to get a Quaife LSD. Decided to step up the LSD since the LSD in this thing is kind of wonky. We're going to go ahead and put a Quaife in there. Quaife is very similar to the stock unit. It's torque bias helical gear. This is just a better, stronger. It's got a better lock. It's just a much superior LSD to the factory LSD. Also on the bench is something fun and new for the Camaro. These are original toe tabs. I just shot this little bit of Chevy orange red on here. As you can see, this cap. Most of the research I've been doing online with the supercar registry and all, it seems to be about the color that they were originally. The company is, I think, I'm dyslexic, so pardon me if I get it wrong here, NMW. They made these toe tabs back in the 70s, and these are from the original owner. They were on a 67 Camaro originally back in 1973. He sold the car, had kept the toe tabs like a lot of people do, keep a lot of their stuff, and he decided to let them go, and I was lucky enough to acquire them from the original owner, and they were on a 67 car that was tracked on the weekends, and that's why there was toe tabs for it. And I'm going to be putting them on the 68 Camaro as a really nice day 2 addition to the car, and can't wait to get them kind of cleaned up and painted. That's the original hardware to them. This is my coffee today, fun mug that I got for Christmas. Thank you very much. Got a 69 Camaro on it. It was supposed to be a 68, but you know what? It's still a first gen. Love it. Anyway, I want to get started on this thing. I want to get it opened up, and I'll let you guys see what I find when I get inside there and keep you informed as this video goes along. Stand by. All right, I just pulled the axles out and the seals out of this thing, and for a rebuild, I'm not liking what I'm seeing here. These seals were never removed. They are still the original seals that were in this thing. They never replaced them. So that's not good. That's really not, you know, seals are inexpensive. Differentials are very expensive. It's not, you know, you're going to rebuild something, always replace the seals. And loosen up the fill and the drain bolts. Going to take a look at them next. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of yuck right there. A lot of silver. A lot of what looks to be not well meshing metal. All right, let me pop this cover. All right, just popped the cover. It's loose now. They did do a nice job. It's very neat on the sealant, so I'll give them that. All right, let's get this cover off. One hand in it here. And, oh, it smells very yucky, very bad. Sorry about the shaky video here. One hand in it. Let's take a look inside. Not good.
That's real bad. That right there is real bad.
That's bad. Yeah. Anyway, you can see the wear on those gears. The whole rear end just was not set up correctly. There's no load on that pinion at all. It's if it's got a pound on it, it's got a lot. Next thing we're going to do is check the amount of backlash. I've taken the tabs off here, but I figure I better show you guys a little bit more about this thing before I start touching anything more. You see how much wear is on these gears, and watch this. See how much distance there is on that ring gear to that pinion. I have the indicator set up on this thing, and it's actually pretty mind-blowing. It's like 48 thousandths. It's hard to do this. That's it right there. That's 48 thousandths. It's just unbelievable how wore out this gear set is. What a shame. The other issue here is they definitely put these bearing caps on the wrong side. This cap should be over here. This cap should be on this side. The reason why I know this is because when I went to adjust these adjuster rings, they hardly move. They're very, very tight. That journal should be smooth and free moving backwards and forwards, and that's probably one of the main things that went wrong here when they set this rear end up, is when they put these caps on in the wrong spot. They thought they were tight with this backlash or tight with the, up against the bearing cup, and they were not, because these things just wouldn't move, and they thought, well, I'm already there, it's super tight, and it was a false reading for them. They had no idea that they had put these things on backwards and caused their problems. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these studs out of here and get this, flip these around and see how it adjusts at that point. These are a few things I want to do just to check on how this rear was set up, kind of go backwards with the way the setup was done. It's kind of like a forensics thing for me. Something went wrong. I don't know what, but everything is not good. And but we're going to get it straightened out.
The fit sucks.
I was correct on the bearing caps. They were on the rear end backwards, so that was the beginning of the end right there. You can see these adjusters now move freely, and you can see how it just moves easily now through the carrier. Another thing on these studs, 10.9 is a nice step up.
I mean, grade 8's about 120 psi. Grade 10.9 is about 150 when it comes to like an M10.
Right. So it's like anything more than that is an overkill.
If you're putting that stud in there, you're adding another failure point.
Yeah. Next issue, over torqued bolts, ring gear bolts. This one's snapped. It's inside the ring gear.
Watching and testing.
Yeah. All right, guys. I got the cups off of this thing, and hopefully you'll be able to see this in the video, but there's some really unusual wear in these cups, and that is due to the fact that the bearing caps were put on incorrectly backwards, and they cocked the cup and caused damage to these bearings. These are brand new bearings. I can tell that they're brand new bearings, and they're junk now, which is really a shame because these things are like 80 bucks a piece now. So to lose a set of bearings because of ignorance is really a shame. Be aware, people, when you go out and you commission somebody to build one of these things for you, do your due diligence, do your homework, find somebody that's got a good reputation, that has a good following, a good rating, people that have used them in the past with good luck, and do your best to get somebody that's qualified to rebuild a differential, and not somebody that says, oh, gee, both, yeah, I could do that. No, you don't want that guy. There's our broken bolt. That was a son of a gun to get that ring gear off too. A lot of silver in there. All that metallic is wasted metal. All right, and welcome back. I got this thing cleaned up and cleaned out. We got to still push those cups out so we can replace these bearings. And I put the pinion back together as it would be in this rear end, so you guys got an idea how things work here. First of all, here's your nut. It is a used nut. It was probably the original nut that was on this rear end when it was new, and they reused it. They did not replace that. That's not a good idea. Underneath this, it's a structural washer that goes underneath that nut. There was no structural washer here, so that was forgotten. Obviously, we got some rust here. We're going to do a cleanup restoration type of thing. Not really crazy, but, make it nice. This is next, our outer bearing and slinger washer, spacer washer. That's in good shape. This bearing's got, heat wear in it and stuff like that, but nothing unusual from the setup not being quite right. And here it does have one of those solid pinion spacers in it with those little thin shims. As you can see here, this is not good. None of these are distorted. They're actually okay. But the reason why they are is because there was never a proper pinion load to begin with on this thing. It was light. And even after I tried torquing it down, it never really got the proper load on it. So this was destined to fail between having the caps wrong, having this wrong, too many wrong things to go, and things went wrong. Anyway, if you're going to use one of these things, hold on a second. Let me get a proper do-it-yourself pinion spacer here. Hold back here. Okay, this is a Jay's Racing collar. Okay, this is a JDM part made by Jay's Racing. You can see where it says Jay's Racing there. It's a little scratched up and stuff. It's been around the shop for years, and I just kind of use it as a prop. All right, this is your shim. This is a hardened shim. It's a stout shim. You look at that shim, how nice that shim is, and then you look at this whatever you want to call it. Okay, see how thin that is? There's nothing there. Okay, how easy this thing just bends and distorts. There you go, it's bent, it's junk. Okay, this is going to fail. These are going to squash out. They're not hardened. They're not what you want for this differential. You need something that's going to hold up. So if you're going to do a DIY, do a DIY with a proper pinion spacer like this Jay's Racing collar, and with a proper shim that Jay's provides for you. If you can't get the right one in their kit, if it's still a little too loose, take this to a local machine shop. Just have them take a couple thousandths off of it until you get that proper load that you're looking for. When it comes to putting a differential together, studs are not the answer. Hardened bolts are. Grade 10.9, something like that, where that bolt is actually going to hold up even better. Let me go ahead and discard a lot of this stuff just going into the recycle bin, and this right here will be going back to its original owner here, and as he wants his old parts back, so we're going to go ahead and send them back to him in a separate package, and we'll carry on with get this build put back together and done right this time. All right, I'm going to end this video. This is going to end up being a two-parter. Just too much information to put into one video, and I don't want to bore everybody with it. And a lot of people just don't have time to sit there and watch a half an hour worth of stuff. So I'm going to end this thing here. Got the case cleaned up already, so you'll see that in the next half of this video. And it looks nice. I got to work on that flange, of course. Here's the bearings. I did show you the outside bearing, at least the bearing itself. I didn't show you the race or cup. And you can see on this one here, there's a lot of damage in there. This is a brand new bearing. You can see it's a brand new bearing, but it's completely wore out from all that metal. When those gears weren't meshing correctly, it just made like a metal slurry inside this rear end and just wore everything out. And you can tell everything here was brand new. It's a shame all this is all going to go into the recycle bins, not usable. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to carry this on into the second video. Please stand by for that next video. Thanks for watching.